Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How would you like to be the next head football coach at Kansas State University?
I'd be so jacked to be the next head football coach at Kansas State. I'd be so thrilled to be that.
Well, we'd love to have you.
North Dakota State head football coach Chris Klieman will become Kansas State's new head football coach.
Joining us right off the bat is Valley News Live sports director Beth Houle. She's been tracking this story now for over a week now. She joins us with details. Beth?
Thanks, Mike and Andrea. This afternoon at his weekly press conference, Chris Klieman expected a decision from Kansas State either tonight or tomorrow. At 7 p.m., Kansas State put out the video you just saw with athletic director Gene Taylor before NDSU's practice was done at 6:40. Around 5 p.m., sources close to the situation told Valley News Live a deal was close to being done. And just after 6 p.m., Fox College sports reporter Bruce Feldman announced he would be offered. And at 7, both schools made it official. Klieman will stay with the Bison through NDSU's playoff run. Klieman has a 67-6 record in 5 years as the Bison head coach, including 5 Missouri Valley Football Conference championships and 3 national titles, with the hopes of a 4th still on the way. Klieman joined NDSU in 2011 as the defensive backs coach, was elevated to defensive coordinator in 2012, and hired by Taylor to be the head coach at the school at the end of 2013. He now takes over a program at Kansas State that was coached by the legendary Bill Snyder, who retired 8 days ago after being the head coach for 27 years.
You know, you're going to be following a legend. You know that, right?
I do know I'm following an icon that I have a ton of respect for and followed my whole career. It's a dream of mine to be a Power 5 head football coach, and I get to do it at an institution like Kansas State, that land-grant institution that I'm excited about leading that program, and we're going to win, and we're going to do it the right way.
We will speak with NDSU Athletic Director Matt Larson tomorrow. Larson has said the process to find NDSU's next head coach will begin immediately. Kansas State is planning their introductory press conference Wednesday. We'll have plenty more on those details and what to expect for the road ahead for the Bison later in sports.
All right, thanks, Beth. Klieman's departure has been a hot topic for days. Fans have been speculating about the impact of his move on future football success at NDSU. In getting a feel for fan reaction, the Bison faithful we talked with were happy for Chris Klieman and confident that the program will continue its winning ways.
He deserves to move up, but I think it's a pretty strong program, and I'm sure we'll find a good replacement.
I'd like to have him stay, but I guess if he does go to a better team, I guess we'll just have to make do.
But I know he would do great at Kansas State. Anyone would be lucky to have him as a coach. He's a great coach.
But you know what? We have other coaches here that I think that would be doing a good job, and I think he would do a good job for another team too. But all in all, I want him to stay here.
Here's what former NDSU Bison and current Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz tweeted tonight. Such bittersweet news for NDSU football. Coach Klieman is not only a heck of a coach, he's an even better man. Kansas State football, you got a great one.
Considering the temp and the sunshine earlier today, not a bad start to the week. Hutch, how's the overnight looking?
Well, we have some changes working their way in from the west in the form of some cloud cover, but where the skies remain clear, temperatures are indeed quite chilly. Single digits in Grand Forks and other portions of northwest Minnesota, 20 though in Jamestown and Sisseton. As we head through the overnight, our cloud cover will continue to keep temperatures from getting too cold. In fact, some may see temperatures boost up just a degree or two. I'm expecting more clouds tomorrow and even a chance of snow for some. I'll have details on how that will impact your Tuesday here in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thanks.
Authorities in Alexandria, Minnesota have taken a man into custody in connection with a shooting incident that happened Saturday. Officials say Zachary Gordon was arrested in connection with the shooting incident. Alexandria police say on Saturday, officers responded to a report of a gunshot victim around 9 on the 400 block of Elm Street. A man was taken into a hospital for a gunshot wound. The name of the victim is being withheld for his safety.
One man is now in jail after a West Fargo officer tried to stop his vehicle from speeding on Cheyenne Street, but the man refused to stop. 40-year-old Adam Montour was arrested for fleeing in a motor vehicle, reckless driving, driving under revocation, drug charges, and for a warrant out of Wisconsin. Another West Fargo officer deployed spike strips which disabled the vehicle at the intersection of Cheyenne Street and 32nd Avenue. 2 other occupants in that vehicle were released.
There is another case of a polio-like illness in Minnesota that's leaving children partially paralyzed. A 9th case of acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, has been confirmed. The illness weakens muscles and can leave patients, usually children, paralyzed. AFM doesn't have a vaccine or a known cause. 1 case of AFM has been confirmed in North Dakota.
A warning tonight for users of popular home remedies to clear your sinuses. A Seattle woman is dead after getting a brain-eating amoeba from using a neti pot.
Health officials are saying plain tap water that was neither boiled nor sterile caused the infection. Doctors tell Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer these cases are rare.
Kind of the typical or the baseline neti pot itself.
It's flu season, and that means you might be turning to this valuable tool when you get congested.
Kind of looks like a lamp there.
A neti pot. But health officials are urging people to make sure you're using it the right way.
You put water, warm water into it, you mix it with a saline solution, and then it's used to flush out any excess mucus or irritants that might be in your nasal passages.
Molly Rachel is a pharmacist, and she tells us the first thing you need to do to make sure you're using a neti pot safely is use safe water. And if tap water is your only option,
water that's either distilled, sterile, or has been boiled for 3 to 5 minutes.
Rachel says to boil it.
With any medication or any treatment, if you do it incorrectly, you're going to expose yourself to potential risk.
Dr. Brent Nichols is an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and he tells us using what he calls nasal irrigation devices like neti pots are safe. But he says, just like with most medical treatments, you need to follow the directions and listen to your doctor.
Not want people to be scared off from giving it a try, as it actually has a really nice evidence-based support, and certainly I see patients every day that can't believe how much of a difference it's made for their care.
But if the recent headlines have scared you off from using a neti pot,
the other option that there is out there is also just kind of more bottle, and so more of a squeeze bottle that you can use.
There are other options you can try. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Dr. Nichols also tells us this isn't the first case where someone has gotten sick or died from using a neti pot incorrectly. In 2015, 2 people died in Louisiana from contracting brain infections after using a nasal irrigation device with tap water.
A local parent wrote to our whistleblower hotline with concerns about the auditorium at Discovery Middle School in South Fargo, saying school programs and events had to be moved to other locations because of safety concerns. We did some checking and found out that Discovery had offenses in a recent fire inspection, but so did the other Fargo middle schools. The violations are minor, ranging from an outdated fire extinguisher to some exposed wires. Most parents we talked with today say it's still problematic, saying that they're glad the schools didn't have any major violations and wish they knew about the smaller problems. One parent suggested the schools post inspection results on their Facebook page or in a newsletter, saying that they think it would help keep the school more accountable.
A Roseau man is facing several charges, including making violent threats after police say he told owners of a Badger, Minnesota bar that he would bring in a gun and take them all out. Police say it happened on Friday at Skippy Finn's bar. Court records state 30-year-old Jairus Lane was refused service at the bar, left, and then came back with his own beer. One of the owners asked him to leave several times, but he refused. That's when Lane allegedly threatened to get a 9mm gun and take them all out. Lane was arrested. Police say he was intoxicated at the time.
A 54-year-old northern Minnesota man who's been charged in connection with an apparent hunting accident that killed a former police chief in November made his first court appearance today. Morris Dodd Jr. was taken into custody on November 10th after a fatal hunting-related incident that killed 53-year-old Jane Nelson on the White Earth Reservation. According to court documents, officers discovered a shell casing, cigarette butt, and footprints in a wooded area several yards from where Nelson was found dead. Dodd will be back in court on January 7th.